Dear students, today we are going to study a beautiful poem composed by modern English poet Kamala Das on Rama's Arizona. Welcome. And this poem is composed by Indian poet. She has been a very popular poet. And let's know a little about her. She was born into a family which already had literary inclination. Her mother, Balamani Amma, was a writer. Her uncle, too, explored various subjects to write on, and thus, influenced by both her mother and her uncle, Kamala Das took to writing at a very early age. You will be happy to note that she took to writing at a very early age when she was in her school. She wrote in Malayalam, which was her mother tongue, and English also. She gained popularity for her poems and short stories. In the year 2009, the year when she departed from this world to final abode, the Times called her the mother of modern English poetry. So now we are going to study one of her poems. We talk about this poem. This is in our syllabus, and this is written in free verse without any rhyming scheme. What is a free verse basically? Free verse is a poetic form when in the poem there is no specific rhyme scheme. This poem is a short verse, and if you observe right from the first word to its ending word, it is a complete sentence. So it is also one sentence poem. The poem is having a theme of aging and separation. The poem explores the bond between a mother and a daughter, and this bond has very beautifully been highlighted in the poem. My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das reveals poet's fear of losing her mother. The poet observes the signs of old age on her mother's face, the signs of old age on her health and her energy level as well. Due to old age, her mother's face has lost all the charm and has become dull. She has all the symptoms of declining health and declining energy level. The poem very beautifully touches the hearts of readers. The poet is moving towards airport. She is going to be physically separated from her mother, and her mother's old age has made the fear of loss and separation and the emotions of the poet that has come to the surface. Dear students, now let us begin stanza by stanza. So here in the first stanza, in these lines, the poet has described a very personal experience. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, dozed, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. So first, let us know the difficult words here. Doze. The word means drowsy, half sleepy. Beside. Beside means near. Ashen. It's basically referring to ash. Ash means the substance that we receive after burning something. Corpse. Corpse means dead body. In these lines, the poet has described a very personal experience. It was last Friday when the poet was driving from her parents' home to Cochin airport. Cochin is the name of a city. Cochin is a major port city in the state of Kerala. It is also popularly known as Kochi. She was driving and her mother was sitting beside her. While on the way, the poet looked at her mother's pale face. Her mother's face was dull, pale. Pale means yellow. She was appearing really dull. She was inactive. She was looking tired with no energy at all. Seeing her mother's dull face, she realized the impact of her mother's advancing age. She found that her mother was dull, dozing means half sleepy. Her mouth was open. Her condition suggested that she had become dull, inactive, energyless, and frail. Frail means weak. And she was appearing as lifeless as a dead body. And this was a traumatic experience for the poet because she was going to Cochin airport and after that she had to go somewhere else and she would be leaving her mother behind alone, unattended. So somewhere in her heart she was having that pain. The poet saw that old age had snatched all charm, all energy from her mother and made her as inactive, as dull, as lifeless as a corpse. And corpse means a dead body. This indeed was a very, very painful experience for the poet. The consequences of old age made her understand that her mother had reached a point where her end was near. So while on the way, she observed, she realized that her mother has become terribly old and she was not feeling good about it. Her mother was dull, without energy. She was pale, very weak, lifeless. So this was quite painful for the poet to observe her mother's condition. So now she was in the car, and when she saw her mother's condition, she felt really painful. Her heart was full of pain. She was not feeling good. Mother was precious. Our mothers are always precious. She did not want to be separated from her mother. The condition of the mother made the poet painful, and the second stanza says, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. In this stanza, there are some words realized, which means understood. Sprinting. The meaning of this word is running fast. Merry. Merry means happy. And spilling. Spilling means coming out. You know, if you are taking something in a glass and you are filling the glass full, so you may get warning like, please don't fill it full. It may spill out. The spilling is coming out, overflow. So the condition of the mother made the poet painful. She understood that her mother had become quite old. She has lost all her energy and is struggling in life with declining health. All these signs, all these symptoms suggested to the poet that she might die. Who might die? Because the poet's mother might die. Because she is in the last phase. Old age is the last phase of someone's life. She is in the last phase of her life. And the poet realized that she has become terribly old and the signs and symptoms of her old age is quite visible, quite visible, then she might die any day. And she might be separated from her mother. And the fear of separation filled the poet with pain. And now she wanted to divert her mind somewhere else so that she can come over the painful thought, emotion, and ideas going on in her mind. So, in order to divert her mind from the painful thought of losing her mother, of being separated from her mother, she looked out of the window of the car and what she found outside. Outside atmosphere was full of happiness and energy. That was in complete contrast of what was there inside the car. Outside the car, the poet saw young trees sprinting. This word means running fast. And merry children, merry means happy children. Spilling means coming out of their homes. They were happy. The sprinting trees are nothing but an optical illusion. How it was an optical illusion? It is generally an optical illusion. Imagine when we are inside a running vehicle and the vehicle is running in a fast pace in a certain direction, we often feel that the objects outside are running fast in opposite direction. That same happened with the poet also. So there was a huge contrast between the atmosphere inside the car and the atmosphere outside the car. So here is a contrast in the poem. What is the contrast? Contrast means two opposite things, completely opposite things. Inside the car, there was old mother. Outside the car, there were young trees sprinting. Merry children spilling out of their homes. Inside the car, the mother was dozing. Inside the car, the mother was inactive. Outside the car, the children and trees were full of energy. Inside the car, the mother was energyless while the trees and children were youthful. The mother was lifeless and has been compared as a corpse, while the trees, children, they were full of life. It is important to note here that young trees are symbolic of youthfulness and energy. And children, as they are young, they are full of life. While mother, being old, is dull and inactive. Dear students, now come to the poetic devices. Let's discuss and get to know about the poetic devices used in the poem. In the poem, there are devices that are used. First, simile. An example of simile, her face ashen like that of a corpse. In simile, basically there are two objects which are compared which using the word like or as. So in the example, her face ashen like that of a corpse, the poet's mother's face has been compared with a corpse and the like word is there. So it is simile. Coming to the next example, one, pale as a late winter's moon. In this example, the poet's mother's pale and colorless face has been compared to late winter's moon and the as word is there, so it is simile again. We find metaphor also, and the example is the merry children spilling out of their homes. There is the use of repetition also. I read was smile, smile, and smile. So the smile word is repeated thrice. So it is repetition. Now coming to the questions based on poem. What was the childhood fear that now troubled the poet? The poet has become an adult. She was going away and she saw her mother and she saw that her mother is quite old. She is energyless, inactive, dull and looking like a corpse. In her childhood, the poet sometimes feared and some days feared that she might lose her mother, she might be separated from her mother, and that fear of losing her mother that she observed, that she felt in her childhood, now again, seeing her old age mother, she is having the same fear again. The fear of getting separated from her mother. What do the poet's parting words suggest? Before answering this question, it is important to know the meaning of parting. Parting means separation. The poet was parting. The poet was saying goodbye to her mother. The poet was getting separated at the airport. So, what words she used there? The poet used "See you soon, Amma." These were her parting words, and these words suggest that although she was having an immense amount of pain seeing her mother old, and she was anticipating that she might not be able to see her again, she might die, she might be separated from her mother, would not be able to see her again. But these words suggest that she said goodbye on a positive note. Why are the young trees described as sprinting? The trees never run. But here the poet used the word sprinting to show the energy associated with young age. Why has the poet brought in the image of merry children spilling out of their homes? The poet wants to basically convey the contrast between old age and young age. She wanted to highlight that old age reduces the energy level of the person, and the person struggles with declining health in the old age, and the end is quite near. But the children belong to young age, and they are full of activity, energy, and full of life. So to show the contrast, to show the difference between old age and young age in a very good way, she used the image of merry children spilling out of their homes. Why has the mother been compared to the late winter moon? What happens in winters? In winter, there is fog, there is presence of mist, and when we observe, we find that the moon lacks shine and beauty because of the fog and mist. In the same way, old age makes a person dull, physically less attractive, and less energy. And since her mother's face has lost all beauty and charm, the poet has compared her beauty, her dullness, with the dullness of late winter's moon. Thank you for being a part of this class, and I hope you have gone through this. And we wish you all the best for your upcoming academic session. And keep learning, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.